Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. You guys imagine this. You casually post a photo with a cute toy you like, and within months, that toy becomes so insanely popular that people are literally fighting in stores, websites are crashing, and someone becomes a billionaire overnight. Not you, though, someone else entirely. That's exactly what happened to Lisa from BLACKPINK, and today we're diving into one of the wildest stories of accidental celebrity influence you'll ever hear. This is the story of how Lisa made Labubu, a fuzzy little monster with sharp teeth, into a global phenomenon worth billions of dollars, and how she herself now can't even get her hands on the toys she made famous. Stick around because this story has more plot twists than you'd expect from a collectible toy. So let's start with the basics. What even is Labubu? Picture this, a plush creature with a rabbit-like body, elf ears, giant eyes, and 9 sharp teeth that form this mischievous grin. Some people think it's adorable, some think it's creepy, but everyone's talking about it. The character was originally created back in 2015 by Hong Kong artist Kazing Lung for his storybook series called The Monsters, which was inspired by Nordic folklore. For years, it lived quietly in the art toy world, nice and niche. Then in 2019, Chinese toy company Pop Mart, you know, the ones famous for those blind box collectibles where you don't know which toy you're getting until you open it, they partnered with Kazing Lung to produce Labubu as physical collectibles. Still, it remained pretty underground, mostly popular among hardcore collectors in China and parts of Asia. But then April 2024 happened, and everything changed when a certain Thai superstar decided to share her newfound obsession with the world. Enter Lisa, one of the biggest K-pop stars on the planet with over 100 million Instagram followers. In April 2024, she posted a photo hugging a giant pink Labubu plush, and fans were immediately curious about this weird-looking creature. But here's where it gets interesting, Lisa didn't stop there. She kept showing up everywhere with Labubus dangling from her designer bags. We're talking Louis Vuitton Rainbow Nano Speedy, Hermes, Prada, you name it. Whether she was at clubs, airports, fashion shows, or just casually walking around, there was always a Labubu attached to her bag like a tiny furry sidekick. And the crucial detail here is that Lisa wasn't being paid to promote them. This wasn't some calculated sponsorship deal. This was genuine, pure, unfiltered obsession. In a Vanity Fair interview later that year, Lisa revealed the whole story. She said her close friends in Thailand first introduced her to Pop Mart toys, and at first she was skeptical, literally saying she wasn't going to spend money on this stuff. But then curiosity got the better of her. She went to a Pop Mart store, saw how quickly things were selling out, and thought to herself, are they really that hard to get? Once she got her first few, something clicked. In her own words, she went crazy and spent all her money on them. Lisa confessed that she hunts for Pop Mart stores everywhere she travels, New York, Miami, Paris, Bangkok, calling it kind of like finding treasure. She's obsessed with both Labubu and another character called Zamomo, and she absolutely loves the blind box concept where you never know which design you'll get until you open it. Now here's where the butterfly effect kicks in and things get absolutely insane. When Lisa, with her massive global platform, started showing off Labubus to her millions of followers, her fans, known as Blinks, went completely wild. They wanted everything their idol had. And because Lisa isn't just a K-pop star, she's a legitimate global fashion icon who influences trends across Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Americas, this wasn't just a fandom thing. This became a worldwide cultural movement. By mid-2024, Labubu demand exploded across every continent. Pop Mart stores in Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, the UK, the US, and even places you wouldn't expect started seeing lines wrapped around the block at all hours. People were camping out at 2 in the morning just to get their hands on new releases. The Pop Mart website crashed multiple times from sheer traffic overload. Then in May 2025, things got so out of control that Pop Mart had to pause sales in all 16 UK stores because people were literally getting into physical fights over the dolls, and the company had to prevent potential safety issues. Yeah, you heard that right, fistfights over fuzzy toys. Meanwhile, celebrities worldwide jumped on the trend. Rihanna was spotted in Tokyo with a Labubu keychain. Dua Lipa wore them on her Hermes Birkin. Kim Kardashian posted about them. David Beckham, Cher, even fashion designer Marc Jacobs was photographed with his Labubu at New York Fashion Week. But everyone, including the creator himself, credits Lisa as the original catalyst, the one who transformed Labubu from a niche art toy into a mainstream cultural icon. Kazing Lung, the artist who created Labubu, told Hypebeast that Lisa changed everything. He said everyday people now buy them as fashion accessories and bag charms, not just for display cases. Thanks to Lisa, Labubu crossed over from the collectible world into pop culture and fashion. Now let's talk money, because this is where the story gets truly wild. Normally, a regular Labubu blind box retails for about $14 to $30. That's pretty reasonable for a collectible toy, right? But rare editions? Oh boy, buckle up. In July 2025, a Labubu Vans collaboration plush sold on eBay for over $10,500. Yes, more than 10 grand for a stuffed toy. But that's not even the craziest part. In June 2025, Beijing held the world's first auction dedicated entirely to Labubu collectibles, and the results were absolutely shocking. A one-of-a-kind mint green Labubu figure, standing 4 feet tall, sold for $170,000. That's right, $170,000 for a toy. Another brown Labubu, one of only 15 in the world, went for $114,000. A set of 3 Labubu sculptures sold for over $80,000. The entire auction brought in more than $500,000 in one day. And here's where the billionaire part comes in. All of this insane success made Pop Mart CEO Wang Ning's net worth absolutely skyrocket. At the end of 2024, he was worth about $1.8 billion. By mid-2025, his net worth had exploded to $22.1 billion. That's more than a tenfold increase in just 6 months. Wang Ning, who's only 38 years old, became China's 10th richest person and the youngest member of their billionaire elite, all thanks to Labubu Mania. In 2024 alone, the Monster series, which includes Labubu, generated over $670 million in revenue in just the first half of 2025, accounting for nearly 35% of Pop Mart's total revenue. The company's overall revenue more than doubled to nearly $2 billion in the first half of 2025, with analysts projecting it will exceed $4 billion for the full year. But here's the most deliciously ironic twist in this entire story. In May 2025, Lisa did an interview with Variety magazine where she opened up about her Labubu collection, and you know what she said? She told them, and I quote, "I've been going crazy for them for almost a year, but now I can't really get new Labubus. They're really hard to find. I'm kind of sad." Think about that for a second. The woman who single-handedly created this global phenomenon can't even buy the toys anymore because they sell out instantly, often to bots and resellers. She said for the latest collection, she only managed to get 3 or 4 pieces, and she wants the whole box, but it's really hard to get. Lisa even mentioned she wants to do an official collaboration with Labubu, saying it would blow up the internet, which honestly at this point feels like an understatement. So let me recap this absurd situation. Lisa casually shared her genuine love for a quirky collectible toy with her fans. That single act of authentic enthusiasm triggered a global mania that made Pop Mart's CEO $20 billion richer, caused toys to sell at auction for $170,000, created literal fights in stores across multiple countries, crashed websites repeatedly, and ended with Lisa herself, one of the richest and most famous people in the world, unable to complete her own collection because the demand she created has completely outpaced even her ability to access the product. Just recently in December 2025, Labubu won Product of the Year at the Hypebeast Awards, with Lisa being specifically credited for her role in making it a global craze. The artist Kazing Lung even personally presented Lisa with a special gift in September 2025, acknowledging her role in popularizing his creation. During her Deadline World Tour in London in August 2025, Lisa went full meta and wore a custom pink Labubu costume on stage, complete with a fuzzy crop top, miniskirt, and even held up a pink Labubu mask to her face during the performance. She literally became the thing she made famous. This is the power of authentic celebrity influence in the social media age. One genuine post from the right person at the right time can literally transform an entire industry overnight. Lisa didn't mean to create this chaos. She wasn't sponsored, she wasn't paid, she didn't have some secret business deal lined up. She just genuinely loved collecting these quirky little monsters, shared that passion with her followers in the most authentic way possible, and the world went absolutely crazy. What makes this story even more fascinating is that it highlights the double-edged sword of influence. Lisa created so much demand that she became a victim of her own success. The very popularity she sparked now makes it impossible for her to enjoy the hobby that started it all. And honestly, that might be the most wholesome billionaire origin story we've ever seen, even if the person who became a billionaire wasn't Lisa herself but rather a 38-year-old CEO in China who was in the right place at the right time with the right product. The Labubu phenomenon also shows us something deeper about modern consumer culture. In an era where people are bombarded with obvious ads and sponsored content every day, genuine enthusiasm from someone you admire can be exponentially more powerful than any marketing campaign. Lisa's authentic obsession with these toys resonated because it felt real, not manufactured. People could see she genuinely loved them, and that authenticity translated into a cultural movement that Pop Mart could never have orchestrated on their own, no matter how much money they spent on advertising. So what do you think about all this? Would you spend thousands of dollars on a Labubu? Do you think this craze will continue or eventually fade? And most importantly, should Lisa get a lifetime supply of Labubus for basically making the company billions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the wildest celebrity influence stories in recent memory, smash that like button and subscribe for more pop culture deep dives and analysis. And hey, if you happen to have a rare Labubu sitting around, maybe consider sending it to Lisa, she's clearly having trouble finding them. Until next time, thanks for watching. Annyeong.